time for you to become externally like you are internally. So you see the distance between those two states for us is how long the time is. It's just about gaining consistency. Whether you're going to go up or down, you have to be externally be an image of what you are internally, and that is the time spent in the world of spirits. We got that. Those were just a couple of warm-ups. Now we're going to move into, Swedenborg describes 3 major states of life that people go into once they've died in their first not more than 30 years, as he describes there. Then again, spiritual time is different than physical time. It's states, not time, but he's approximating. So how do we get from one place to the other? He describes 3 steps, and we are actually going to lay those 3 steps out in their own section. So let's get to state 1, welcome. Alright, so here we are. We're on the street. You thought maybe we would be somewhere like ethereal and lighty and stuff, and I'm on this street too, and I'm lit just the same as the street is. Why is it just a regular place? Because the spiritual world is initially very similar. There's a similarity of surroundings, there's a similarity of life, because we're just changing as the spirit. Swedenborg describes it in Heaven and Hell 493. Our first state after death is like our state in this world, since we are then similarly involved in outward concerns. We have similar.
That's weird, yeah, we got disconnected, and I guess the shot is here, it's being a little weird.
Lives. This is why it seems to us as though we were in this world unless we notice that things are out of the ordinary. And remember that angels told us we were spirits when we were awakened. So the one life carries on into the other, and death is only a passage. So it's obviously not the very, very first state, because he says...
Yo, what is your view on eggs?
He describes that when we first wake up, we're surrounded by...
What is your view on eggs?
They take care of us. They do everything that they can possibly do for us. It's
EGGS.
Ourselves out of that state, that we come into this equilibrium of normalcy, because this is the environment in which...
No, eggs, like from a chicken?
Like we did before. We lead a similar life, because we have to return to the mindset that we've built, because it's that we use to go through this process of becoming consistent and in integrity. So if we're there, and everybody else is there, there's going to be a lot of meetings and greetings, and Swedenborg describes these Heaven and Hell 9, and Heaven and Hell 9. Oh, this is going to be a video. Okay, this is not going to be a quote. I was like getting ready to read one, but this is going to be a video. It's somebody else reading Swedenborg, because we got your letters. You want to hear somebody else talking instead of me on the show. And this is just going to have some images to it as he describes all these different meetings, reunions that he saw in the spiritual world.
Since this is what we are like as spirits immediately after our life in the world, our friends and people we have known in the world then recognize us. Spirits perceive who we are, not only from our faces and voices, but also from the aura of our life when they come near. In the other life, whenever we think about someone, we call up that individual's face in our thought, along with many details about her or his life. And when we do this, the other is called to us. This is why as soon as we arrive in the other life, we all are recognized by our friends and relatives, and by people we have known in one way or another. Further, we talk with each other and continue to see each other in keeping with our friendship in the world. I've heard many people who had just come from the world overjoyed to see their friends again, and their friends overjoyed that they had arrived. It often happens that married partners meet and welcome each other joyfully. They stay together as well, but for a longer or shorter time depending on how happily they had lived together in the world. Ultimately, unless they had been united by real marriage love, which is a union of minds from heavenly love, they separate after having been together for a while.
We had questions about that last part a lot. If you were married to 2 different people, who do you stay married to? Swedenborg says maybe one of them, maybe none of them. It just depends. Are you really compatible? It's not about an external contract that people entered into. It's about, was there love? Are you the right kind of spirit? So those people get together. All kinds of reunions, just like you think. You get there, the first thing you want is to see the people that you love, reconnect with them. Then we gotta get about this business of getting our act together so we can all move up. And Swedenborg describes it further, Secrets of Heaven, 1631. At first, Everyone in the other life is welcomed as a guest and a newcomer. In order to avoid exposing the inner depths and life goals of these people as yet, angels show them every favor and kindness on behalf of the Lord. Pardon me. Even in the spiritual world, you can have like throat problems. So the angels are there, and they're everybody. Let's just keep it cool. Everyone, just act like how you were. We're not doing any heavy work right now. We just want you to have a good beginning. We want you to meet the people you need to meet. And actually, a lot of people get taken to paradise scenery, as Swedenborg describes it. This is when people get to go see these amazing things.
You're thinking we're playing team deathmatch. I'm so not used to this.
I'm gonna zoom. Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that 3D real water flow. Look at this. It's an amazing place. You get taken up on these vistas. This is obviously a digital physical approximation of how cool everything would be. People say this is amazing. Actually, I think this is great. This is so cool that I want to actually look around a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
So we're just going to put cameras in my eyes for a second. Alright, let's see what's around here. Alright, here we are. Hey, the camera. You guys came with me. And you can be here. Oh, the water.
I'm just target because I'm multitasking.
Perfect. Looking around, this feels like paradise. This has got to be heaven. I'm in heaven, right? Let's see. Secrets of Heaven 540. He describes, in order for those who are honest but ignorant to learn what heavenly joy is and to come to recognize it, they are introduced first into scenes of paradise that surpass anything they could ever have imagined. So I'm honest but ignorant. I think this has got to be heaven. They suppose they have now entered the heavenly paradise, but they are taught that this is not the true happiness of heaven. Next, they experience profound states of joy in their deep. Afterward, they are carried into a state of peace, reaching to the same level.
Since I'm not affecting anyone's score,
Never be captured.
that's crazy.
Finally, they are brought into a state of innocence that again reaches right into their.
Nah, instead of shooting back at one person, I started sitting down.
Good is life.
Oh, you shot me.
And heavenly planes. So you have sort of a parable of outer versus inner states there. You get to be in this gorgeous.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving everyone a kill. I'm being generous.
It's so beautiful here, but they're shown. This actually isn't it. Here's peace. That's.
We're sitting down like it's all good.
Internal experience. That's heaven. The external aspects of heaven are only heaven because of the state of mind that people are in. And to get to that state of mind.
So the people playing are gonna be like, "What the fuck? This guy's just sitting down."
Up at that
Look, someone just passed me. They ran right by me because I was sitting down.
Who's saying that?
Oh shit!
The guy who he wrote a book called.
They ran right in front of me. Right in front of me.
This is a little excerpt from it. Until that instant, I had not considered that this was not heaven. So he's in a place just like this. We are here. Though the abode was heavenly, it was a realm where spirits awaited their resurrections. Heaven was a place where God personally resided, a realm where resurrected beings could live. This is not heaven, is it, Randy? I sought to confirm. No, this is paradise. It is a realm of absolute peace, a Zion for spirits who have lived righteous lives. You are right, he continued, having clearly discerned my thoughts. God does not reside here. This is where heaven is. Does he come here, I asked? Oh, yes. He, as well as his angels who have assignments here, come to fulfill their work. So we have not quite heaven. Very cool. Probably cooler than anything any of us physical human beings have seen, unless you've had some kind of parallel experience. However, not heaven. So how are we going to get from here, by this waterfall, to heaven? Well, it begins with examination. Heaven and Hell 496. This is the very end of the first state of just happiness and meaning when we start to get down to the business of work. Eventually, good spirits examine them. By the way, you can download this book just by clicking that box. If you want to read it, it's free. You can download it, read this whole section if you want to hear more about what he said. Eventually, good spirits examine them to determine their nature. This is done in various ways, them being us, anyone who's come into the spiritual world. This is done in various ways because in this first state, evil people can say true things and do good things just the way good people do. As I've already explained, this is because they have lived just as morally in outward form, because they were living under governments and laws, and because this gained them a reputation for fairness and honesty, won people over to them and raised them to high office and wealth. However, one can tell evil spirits from good ones, particularly by the fact that the evil ones pay close attention when the conversation is about external concerns, and little attention when it is about more inward matters, about the true and good principles of the church and heaven. They do hear such things, but without any real attention or pleasure. One can also identify them by the fact that they consistently turn towards certain regions, and when they are left to themselves, follow paths that lead to them. One can tell what love is leading them from the regions they face and the paths they follow. So distance in the spiritual world is state of mind. If there's something you love somewhere, you turn toward it. And you do that when you're left to themselves, when you're around other people. Maybe I'm not looking down there, I'll fit into what you say. But when it's just you just go where your whims take you. Where are you facing? What paths are you starting to walk down? That's the initial hint. But we have to get way past initial hints. We have to get into full-on examination. Though we can't do that here in this paradise. We gotta get someone more suited for the second state. So let's go. Oh, wait. Oh, and then I just did this whole outro. Never mind. I forgot one part. There is, in this state, you probably are wondering, where's the life review, right? Where people describe near-death experiences.
See how many people run by me while sitting here.
That actually happens in this first state, even though it is sort of.
I got one person that ran by me.
Thing. It's like.
Damn, this person is sitting down too.
You have to have that. So he describes it as he calls it a book of life. I actually have a book of life here.
Look at this, Gabe. Come over here.
It's not actually a physical book. He describes.
Aw, man, the person got up. They're not even killing me.
Sort of the
not yet, at least. Right over here. I don't know where that spinning blade thing is. There's Pokemon Red.
Out of their book of life.
I'm putting this on video. That's why I'm not taking the screenshot.
In the world, there was every single word there, just not pulled out.
Right over here, yeah.
Their physical book, but from their memory. Also, there was things that people had forgotten. Things that people had forgotten.
I just got killed.
Forgot about that. We pulled out of their memory there, and they can see it, react to it. It can be shown to other people. Now we would call this a life review, which is like a series of images, of like you're with people and how you're interacting with people. What does it matter? That kind of thing. So that would pop up. Anyway, all that would be what we now call the book of life. All right. So does that make sense? So we can be done this.
Nice.
Now.
Let me see the score.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, you do.
Things just disappear when you don't need them anymore. So hopefully that makes sense. Heaven and Hell 498 will cap the whole thing off here. So we're gonna pull it up right now. Hey, look at that. The waterfall's still rolling along. So again, this is about the timing of the whole thing. This first state after death lasts a few days for some people, months for some, and a year for some. Rarely more than a year for anyone. The difference for particular individuals depends on the harmony or discord between their inner and outer natures. These inner and outer natures must act as one and correspond for everyone. No one is allowed to think and intend one way and speak and act another way in the spiritual world. Everyone must be an image of his or her affection or love, which means we must be outwardly what we are inwardly. This is why the outer concerns of a spirit are first stripped off and brought into order, so that they may serve as a plane responsive to the inner ones. And that is what we've been saying the whole time. That's been this episode, but it's the answer to why do you have a life in the physical world first. Because in the physical world, we don't have to be externally just like we are internally. There can be a dichotomy between the two, and we can actually rage against ourselves at times.
No one's killing me, I'm just sitting down here.
I'm supposed to do it. I gotta clean up this thing. We can get that kind of work done here when it's not just when we have an ability to go against our nature. So we do that here, and once we put in our work here, and we die and go to the next world, then we have this opportunity to get sorted out and get these things. You know what I mean? That's why we're.
Oh, I lost, yo, I lost.
The physical world right now.
Yeah, oh, you won.
Get deeper in there.
Nice.
We've done our time here in the paradise. We looked at the book of life. Now, it's finally actually.
I'm gonna call this LOLLL sitting.
State 2, so let's zoom.
Oh, you don't realize how the recording works right when you hit screenshot. It shows what you just played. You don't have to sit there and hit record, because if you did, you wouldn't be able to catch. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to catch anything that was cool. Yeah, but make sure don't do a screenshot. Because when you do a screenshot, it's not gonna have the same video anymore.
Don't let it creep you
just
out.
hit share and then hit square to save the video, or you can just hit the video and then post it.
This is when there's that initial